Hi, I'm Saren.
And I'm Ray.
We're your Spider Baby hosts from To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast, as well as proud members of the collective.
You're listening to Capes and Lunatics. Gimme, gimme.
Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to make sure you know all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on all new episodes of Wade's World, Boob Windows and Long Boxes, our Hard R movie reviews, and so much more, all completely uncensored. Access starts for as little as $1 a month, full videos when you pledge $3 a month. Check us out at the link in all of our show notes, or just go straight to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Capes and Lunatics. Watch me get everyone to take a drink. It's the penultimate episode before our Venom review next week. Anyway.
Take a drink, feature love.
As if you need an excuse. Anyway, I am Phil. Joining me, as always, that bashful man from New Jersey.
Charlie, Professor Essa. Worship me.
And that sweet and innocent girl from Florida, it is.
I guess he means me. It's Will. What's up?
Well, yeah, it's opposite. Like, yeah, get it?
Oh, cool.
To just try to say the modest Charlie Usher.
It's Bizarro Day here on Tiny Toons.
Anyway.
Me am happy.
Nice. But yes, next week will be on the Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage reviews. So, this week, we decided to, yes.
Let there be flop.
Oh! Talk some Carnage comics because, you know, some of the viewing audience may not know who Carnage is. So, kids, when an alien symbiote gestates a offspring in an alien environment such as Earth,
and they love each other very much.
No, they reproduce asexually, man.
When an alien symbiote loves itself very much, and it decides to bud and spawn,
ejects a symbiote
into a serial killer. Yeah.
Name Cletus.
Yeah.
Says it all.
Eddie Brock and his symbiote were separated, so it, you know.
Tristan, check the
of
Wi-Fi.
Course, his symbiote had to give
now.
birth at the exact moment they're breaking him out of jail, where he shared a cell with a serial killer who was serving 12 consecutive life sentences.
It's weird that they would put Eddie Brock in with a serial killer. It just seems
isn't it weird they put anyone in with a serial killer?
Well, yeah, it would seem like. I mean, I get, it's overcrowded. First of all, I don't even think they have serial killers in Rikers. I got to think that, well, I guess maybe. I guess I don't know where they put serial killers generally, but it does seem like that was it was odd pairing for.
Well, again, it's the Marvel Universe. We don't have OSHA or anything like that, so why would we have a competent prison system?
I mean, in a superhero world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a world.
Because, if you get a 1 in 100,000 chance of getting superpowers from toxic chemicals,
radiation,
nobody's going to want guardrails. They're going to be like, okay, it's fine, because people are always willing to take that risk.
If the
That's
last
why they play the lotto.
Haven't taught me anything, is that you're absolutely correct, Charlie.
Yeah, no,
absolutely
people are like,
correct.
They think that's their lottery ticket, man.
Yeah, man, exactly.
Let me tongue kiss this gamble bomb.
I'm just going to give you a little bit of off topic here. Think about this for a minute. You know why mutants are hated?
Why?
Because they democratize superpowers. If suddenly you don't have to be a millionaire scientist or industrialist or archaeologist finding ancient things to become a superhero,
yes,
that gets way too scary to the powers that be.
They're on the right track, baby. They were born this way.
I'm telling you, man. That is the next big exploration of mutants. That's why people are told to hate mutants.
That's why they're...
Hey, send that in the sash, would you? She would love to deconstruct that.
That's why they're the downtrodden. They occupy superpowers, yes.
Exactly, man. That's what I'm telling you. I figured that out this week. It's not about all the other oppressed groups, and just being different, it's about, oh wow, what if just any oppressed group could suddenly gain superpowers?
It's why they don't really do black vampires, pre-670s. It's one of those things.
Because those stuck-up vampires were hanging around Europe, man. They weren't going to travel in the world.
They had black people in Europe in the...
Yeah, but
actually,
who was becoming
they would absolutely destroy everything.
But who was becoming
absolutely turn everything upside down.
Who was becoming vampires? Aristocrats, counts.
Yeah,
Romanians.
And not to get into a whole very off topic here, but it's like Eastern Europeans we're always the
there goes the neighborhood.
The mysterious Orient of the Eastern Europeans, So don't go painting that white brush so far as you think you are there. From the way Englishmen would have seen an exotic count like
man,
Vlad.
English people hate other English people born on the wrong side of the road. So. Anywho, let's get back on topic. What story did you end up picking? I think we're going to go in chronological order.
Yeah, yes, I will be first because mine happened. I believe my cover dates are January and February 1998 from Amazing Spider-Man 430 and 431.
It all goes back to the spider.
Yes, Spider-Man's all happy. The heroes have finally returned from Heroes Reborn. Yeah. Everyone was happy the heroes returned from Heroes Reborn. The Thunderbolts are still in
Wait a minute, that feels vaguely familiar.
What? Spider-Man? No, he stayed behind because that was the whole thing. The public was like, oh no, the Avengers and Fantastic Four are dead. Who's going to save us from villains now? Spider-Man? The X-Men? Daredevil?
The horror.
Yeah, it was all the ones they hated.
Mm-hmm.
Because they democratized superpowers.
Oh my! So the heroes return, but then over at Ravencroft, some bureaucrat's like, hey, we don't have to keep the Sonics up full blast on Cletus Cassidy, do we? Well, he finds out, yes, you do, because he escapes, and then.
Oh yeah, no, OSHA. I remember. We just had that conversation.
So after a battle in the city, the Silver Surfer intervenes, and guess what? The symbiote says, bye, Cletus, I'm going to find myself a new host, and bonds itself to the Silver...
red, man.
Oh, no, it's actually worse. There's like a hive mentality where, like, even though it wasn't there, that there was a planet back in the day that the Surfer led Galactus to that was full of symbiotes, and Galactus chowed down.
Oh no.
Yeah. And yeah. So indigestion,
But
diarrhea.
I just want to say that's kind of weird.
The runs
for the symbiote, because isn't the well, I mean, and they actually, I'll address that later too. But it's just like the whole idea was like, oh, Cletus is like its host, it's its family. That's where he was born. Just ditching him for Silver Surfer. It seems
it kind of seemed too that the symbiote was like, oh, now I can wreak havoc all over the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you
go. Cletus might be
nice.
Cletus might be nice, but he ain't breaking the atmosphere.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. So eventually, the Surfer takes it into space, and it's like in its head, and it's like, you know what? You want to stay with me? Fine. Guess what? I'm not going to let you pull any of your crap anymore, and you're going to be locked in here with me for the rest of your existence. And that's when it's like, no,
I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
Exactly. So then they go back to Earth, and the Surfer's like, oh, we've got to put it back with Cletus Cassidy, and then Spider-Man's like, no, let him die, because I guess he's dying without the symbiote. And Surfer's like, okay, what? I can't honestly say I can hold this thing in check forever. So who would you rather have it? This mortal man, or would you rather have me locked in here with this symbiote? And Spider-Man's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
So they give the symbiote back to Cassidy, but the Surfer uses his power and supposedly locks him in like some weird shell thing where supposedly, he's alive, but he'll never escape again. Sure, Jam. So, oh yeah, and Mary Jane passes out when she hears he's fighting a Carnage-fueled Silver Surfer.
she faints?
Mm-hmm.
Really, Mary Jane?
She's an actress. What do you expect?
Well, no, I would expect her to be a little more. I mean, for goodness sake, she's been through this. You know?
Well, it's one thing that, to be punching Otto in the face, but, the Silver Surfer fueled by his Carnage?
Well, but, but that's I know you're in there, Norrin Rad. That's just a one, come on, tropes, man. I know you're in there somewhere. And,
So, yeah, I thought that...
I mean, cool. I mean, I like the fact that the Silver Surfer was able to, contain him.
Yeah. At least
that's good.
At least temporarily, yeah.
Because I think that is what's interesting about that idea of the Carnage Surfer is that, poor old Carnage wound up being the junior partner in that relationship. And in fact, I think there's that was that long shot thing where there's a whole thing. And that was actually one where, Carnage Surfer was going crazy, so.
But I'm like, can't the Surfer...
I know you're in there, son.
Can the Surfer withstand, the sun? Can he, fly close enough to the sun to burn that thing to death or something?
Probably. The Silver Surfer can fly through the sun. Of course, I guess the whole point of the symbiote is you gain the powers of your host.
Oh.
So it'd be like, if Asbestos Man bonded with a symbiote, then they would now have that protection from the flames,
So that original symbiote really knows how to lift barbells. Okay. Learn that skill, yes.
Well, he was associated with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know.
That went into the hive, man, and everyone loves that. That was the best association ever. Much better than Deadpool.
Webbing.
Mark my words.
Webbing and sarcasm, yes.
Galactic
weapons.
Although arguably Deadpool, you get that fourth wall break, which is a very great superpower. But, that Spider-Man, he was the best one. Tied to the Web of Fate. You get to be in that Spider family. It's really a major power upgrade when you bond with the Spider-Man. That was the best thing that screw-up symbiote locked in his cage ever did.
All right. So, moving on. Speaking of fancy Spider-Man, Charlie Esser, what story did you read, and who was the Spider-Man in that story?
Well, of course, I read The Superior Carnage!
That's right, kids.
Which is, without a doubt, the best story I could have read.
I know the Wizard was in that too. Superior
the
Spider-Man
Wizard.
Was in that.
Not only the Wizard, but man, it is. So okay, so we got to do some backstory on this. Okay, so for those who don't recall, during the Future Foundation storyline back when Scott Lang, Medusa, Miss Thing, and
Miss Thing.
Who was the fourth one? Scott Lang, Medusa.
Was it She-Hulk?
And She-Hulk, yeah, that's right. And She-Hulk were the Fantastic Four on Earth while the Richardses and Mr. Grimm went out into space-time and relative dimensions. They were basically running the Future Foundation where they were educating young super sentients, including one Bentley 23, which was the 23rd clone of Whitman Bentley, a.k.a. the Wizard. Well, actually, technically, he's the Wizard, a.k.a. Bentley Whitman. Whitman Bentley. I always forget it. I forget which is his first and which is his last name.
Bentley.
But
I think it's Bentley Whitman, I think. Yeah,
yeah, he's the Wizard. And, of course... And it was very sweet because it's actually, the whole reason why Reed adopts him into the Future Foundation is because when he's talking about, when they defeated the Wizard and he had, a dozen Wizard clones, he's like, well, what happened to the kid? And he's like, oh, well, I guess we'll adopt him because it's a super orphan, so we might as well adopt him into our super family. And of course, as you know, the Wizard did not like this, so he does this whole big thing to try and get, Bentley back, but in doing so, he has to sort of hypnotize Medusa, which Black Bolt doesn't like. And there's this big scene at the end where she says, my husband will have some words with you. And, I even wrote in, said that is the scariest line ever written. my husband would have some words with you. And then we find out in this one that basically what he did was he gave the wizard dementia. Like, messed him up in his head so he won't ever be a threat again. But actually, in this, we find out that basically you just sort of, the line between madness and genius and mad science and just out-and-out lunacy is very thin, and you're never quite sure which side you're on. In this one, he recruits Claw to help him get Cletus Cassidy, because in this one, tying back to, I think, the last one, of Cletus Cassidy being all lobotomized, Carnage breaks free, and the wizard has his mind control helmet on, and he's trying to control the symbiote, but because Cletus Cassidy doesn't have a mind, there's no mind to control. He says, well, I have to control the symbiote's mind, but it doesn't have a mind because it's, goo, and he gets the whole thing, but he brings in Claw, and there's this whole thing about Claw basically having died and have been brought back repeatedly by the wizard, and how he is actually the wizard's family as well. And in this, the wizard keeps on confusing Claw with Bentley, and it's you can see him in this sort of declining mental state. But they're going to go take over City Hall, and a classic thing. There's even one point where he says, "And then we'll show that Johnny Storm." And they're like, "What's going on, wizard?" And like, yes, then we'll, do what we have to, And it's this constant tale of poor Bentley, poor Whitman, just sort of decompensating and sundowning, and then coming back, because he's still a super genius, That's the thing. It's like, he's a super genius, but he has this dementia, and he's fading in and out. He's coming in and out. When he can focus, he's fine, but once he gets distracted, he starts to lose it, and it's a beautiful tale. They bring in Carl Malice, which is great, because at this point, he's in a wheelchair, and I guess this ties into the later one when Carl Malice has been bonded with some symbiote tech, because apparently when he's doing the Cap Wolf on Sam Wilson, because in this one, he gets bonded with the symbiote, and because of course that was the problem. We need to bond the Carnage symbiote with someone who has a brain. You have a brain, Malice. This is going to be great. Battle. They take over City Hall. This is when J. Jonah Jameson is the City Hall mayor, and of course, Otto Octavius is our superior Spider-Man. There's even a whole thing where he's like, "Yes, I know Carnage escaped. He was captured by the wizard. That's not my priority. Right now I'm fighting the Jackal," which it's brilliant and it's beautiful as always. He eventually, he takes over the city. Well, takes over City Hall, sits in his chair with this idea. There's even a statement made that that there's someone saying he's the wizard's son, here to speak with him. Eventually, they do separate Malice from the symbiote. Then the symbiote bonds with Bentley. With the wizard, bonds with the wizard. The wizard is now the true superior Carnage. But then, and this is what I guess Doc Ock figured out, it was never about. It was about bonding with someone that they could control, and who is better for the Carnage to control than the lobotomized Cletus Cassidy. So they bring Cletus Cassidy out. He bonds with him. But this is where you get into this neat thing, is our little coda at the end is, oh yeah, and it turns out that, because there's this little scene with Bentley and the wizard sort of sending email.
Uh-oh. Carnage says, "You do not tell my secrets."
Nobody can know my secrets. Snap.
No, what happens is, I think I'm back now.
Yes.
What happens is that
the boy is on the Wi-Fi.
They realize that the wizard's brain has been repaired by his time with Carnage. And they say, wait a minute, are you saying that Carnage repaired the wizard's brain? It's like, yes, he totally repaired it. He seems to have lost all these signs of dementia. It says, oh, well, what's going to happen now that Cletus Cassidy's been rejoined with it? And then you see Cletus Cassidy smiling back evilly, as you do. There is a Superior Carnage annual. I did not get the chance to read that yet. But this was just chef's kiss, a perfect story of family and loss among supervillains and trying to just achieve what you needed to achieve as... That was really important to all concerned. So I enjoyed it very much so.
And it had the Wizard and Superior Spider-Man. All right. All right, Lilith, you're up. What was you're muted.
So
am I cutting out on you guys, or are you guys cutting out on me? That's what I don't quite understand.
Yes, everyone's cutting out on you, Charlie. No, you're
or are we all just having bad times?
No, it's you. No, me and Lilith are fine. No, it's your cut. You're cutting out.
Okay.
The whole world is cutting out. All right, good.
So anyway, I did Carnage, Black, White, and Blood. It's the most recent Carnage story. It's basically kind of spun out of the idea of absolute carnage. And it's just like one of those typical, the superhero themed, Superman red and blue, Wonder Woman black and gold, only it's Carnage. It's Black, White, and Blood. It's the limited color palette of the blacks, the reds, and the whites. I love the art. The art is what stands out the most in these issues. So it's basically an anthology of stories. It's 4 issues, 12 stories. You have people like Dan Slott, Al Ewing, a lot of great talent. Trini Howard, just doing stories. And some of my favorite stories are Love Story. That one has to do with like Cloak and Dagger, and Carnage compares, him being a symbiote to like their deal.
Oh, cool.
And they get so offended by it. And it's kind of hilarious. I didn't like it when number 1, the first issue that came out. I was just like, do we really need more Carnage? Do we? But, I actually went ahead and just read the whole, series. And as an anthology, it's amazing, actually. I love everybody's different takes on it. And they're not concerned with continuity, but I think the thing why I like the first one, Love Story, is that, it's the one that kind of occurs between, supposed to occur between, what is it? Where did it go? Spectacular Spider-Man 203 and Spider-Man Unlimited number 2 when he gets blasted by Dagger at the end of an issue.
Oh, yeah.
And then it also kind of like deals with a little bit of that King in Black number 1 as well, which I love. As you guys know, I thought King in Black was one of the best like crossover events they did in a while at Marvel. So I think that's probably why that story stands out so much to me. But yeah, it's a solid collection.
Yeah, I read
if you're a Carnage fan.
I read some of it. It's pretty good, but like a lot of these anthologies, like Marvel and DC, it's like, with all the short stories and different teams in it, it's like, if there's something you don't like in the book, there odds are there's something else you're going to like in the book. Yeah, like I said,
it's 3 stories in each issue. All are very different from very different points in time.
Yeah.
It gives you a really good perspective. I think it's a fun collection. And, if you like Carnage, you'll scratch that itch. Definitely.
I think it's like a nice sampler too, like if you want to jump in on Carnage. Yeah, the Black, White, and Blood. There's all this, like, out of continuity short stories. It's like, hey,
Yeah, the thing, the only nitpick is like, did it have to have so many variants? Did it?
Oh, cover variants.
Yeah, for each issue.
What is this, like 1992? Carnage variants?
I'm just saying, we need to be... I don't know if you guys know this, and you can take this with a grain of salt if you want to, but the comic book industry is in a very precarious position right now, and it's like we can't keep doing the thing. We can't go back to the 90s in that way. You can go back to the stories, the camaraderie, the cross, the back and forth cross communications and stuff like that, but you can't go back to the actual practices. It's on a bubble, and it will burst at any moment. Stop it!
I know. And you know what, Lilith? The only way to stop it is to stop buying the variant covers. If you just do that,
called out.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta poke the bubble, because they're gonna keep on pumping up the bubble until someone pokes it.
Well, I don't tend to buy like just an everyday variant, only if it's like a big $10 book, say. But like every little $3.99 issue does not need a variant. And I don't buy those unless I accidentally buy those. I'm like, oh, that was a variant? What a random week.
Yeah, I'll buy a variant, but I'm not going to buy the regular cover then.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't go
I
out
mean,
my way.
that's the thing. It's like
a big event.
Yeah, sometimes the variant gets pulled, and I go, "Oh, okay, cool. It's the Scotty Young one."
But
I always like those. Those are fun looks, you know.
But you're still only buying one issue, yeah.
Exactly. You buy one issue and you call it a day because it's the same book inside.
Exactly.
You know, so just you don't want to worry about it. You don't buy it. You know, they're not doing hologram covers, at least.
Just you wait.
Oh, there's your life lesson, kids. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yes, what I'll say is, I don't mind
hologram
hologram covers even either, as long as you don't charge me extra for it. If you charge me an extra for a fancy cover, I don't buy the book for the cover.
So let me just ask you guys real quick. I mean, I'm not a fan of Carnage. Like, give me Venom, sure, okay, and then you get to Carnage, like, eh. But then Toxin's better than Carnage, so it's just like he's in this weird limbo of the symbiote like order. It's just like, what is Carnage? Why is Carnage?
Carnage. He was invented in the 90s. He's basically a distillation of the 90s. You know, all the ultra violence and all that fun stuff. So
I think Deadpool did it better.
I think I know, but I'm just saying. I think Carnage is kind of like outdated now. You know, it's just like
definitely they're trying to make it a thing again, though.
What I'm going to tell you is Tristan agrees with you. He is not a fan of Carnage. Toxin is way better. That is just a universal.
It has more personality, better backstory. I'm just saying.
And now they have new
Carnage
Teen
is
Toxin.
literally at his stepchild, which is why I enjoy Carnage Black, White, and Blood, because they gave him some much needed nuance and depth. Because he can just be like a killing machine with no depth.
That's what I liked about in the analysis of Carnage in Superior Carnage, is it is just this idea that Carnage just wants someone it can control. That it is a true Clintar in that sense.
Yeah, it doesn't want to connect, it wants to control, and that's just boring.
Yeah.
Just a giant a-hole.
Exactly. And, you know, honestly, it is and you know what it is? Oh, you know what you do know what Carnage is? It's a teenager rebelling against everything its parents believed in.
Angsty! Yes! It's the overuse of angst. You're absolutely right.
And that's why Toxin's a little bit better, because he's like, okay, I get, what we're doing here, but I also understand that, it works better when we're a team, and,
Oh my god, you are so right.
He's not as much of a loser as Venom, who's like, Flash Thompson was the best man I ever bonded with,
Carnage is you're right, Carnage is the teenager running on all those hormones, and he's all about penetration. Yes.
Yes, Flash Thompson is the best thing. But then again, before that,
okay, tell Tristan to call me when he's like 25.
Why?
I always say that. I literally always say that.
Tristan's like, why? You'll be too old by then.
No, I think you and Tristan will get along great if you guys hang out together. Have you ever met Tristan, Lilith?
Yeah, of course.
2019! 2019!
Okay, yeah, I remember
Dave and Buster's.
I can't always remember when Lilith showed up. Yeah, so. Oh, that's right. So, okay, that's right. That's what we all were there for Batman Day.
Were you there?
I was there, but I had
I thought you were saying to her. Were you there?
I can't remember who, but I remember her there now because I remember her in her Batman shirt. We were all in Batman shirts. But yes, no, Tristan, but Tristan agrees with you.
I know she's a tiny
Toxin
woman,
is better. He is really excited about the new Carnage film because Toxin's supposedly in it.
Of course, that's the next spin-off, duh.
That's what he wants, is to have that.
The symbiotes, we're going home, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Carnage is kind of a two-dimensional character. And he's kind of supposed to be. He's kind of supposed to be he is kind of the trope of the hero with all the powers, or the villain with all the hero's powers kind of idea, and except it's off of Venom.
Yes, a villain of a villain.
Again, it was like 1992, and it's like, oh, you thought Venom was bad? Oh, we can do much worse.
When you tried to make Venom an anti-hero to /hero, this is what happens. You have to one-up him.
I think they're already like, we're going to start spinning Venom off in the miniseries. I know.
So, yeah.
Oh my god.
Everybody.
Oh my god. All right, here's your comparison. You know who Carnage is to Venom? What Punchline is to Harley Quinn?
Punchline is not two-dimensional. I hate to break it to you. There's a lot of subtle nuance. Like I said, that character was specifically crafted for a certain demographic.
It's not a perfect. It's not a.
Just why don't you get off your phone for right now?
It's not a perfect analogy, but it's just I get
where you're going.
She's a product of her
wrong
time.
idea.
She's a product of her time, just like Carnage was. Yeah.
Right idea, wrong direction.
Hey.
Quick, let's talk a DC book. Let's get to the comic corner.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, guys, be sure if you like anything we discussed, go ahead and I'm sure Phil will have it in the show notes as he always does for some further reading and enrichment.
And smash that subscribe on YouTube.
Okay.
Of course.
Hey, we're gonna talk some of this week's comics, Charlie Esser.
Comical books.
What?
I read many comical books this week. Including indies.
Hey, kids, I got 2 indies this week, too.
Oh, wow.
Oh, well, Radiant was to be expected. The second one,
What? I read the first one.
I know.
What was the second one?
Yeah,
King Spawn number 2.
Oh. Spawn's I guess Spawn's an indie. It's like when you try to say Archie's are indies,
I consider any
well
book.
Established.
I consider any book that's under its creator's control an indie book.
Oh yeah. Well, fair enough. It's
nobody's suing him for them rights. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that is fair. He owns. Of course, it's like he's goth Santa Claus. McFarlane.
Nice.
He's up in his workshop making toys, writing stories, and
ho ho ho, eh?
And he is not writing the Spawn movie though. He decided that no, give it to someone.
Maybe by the time
exactly. He'll obviously consult and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh no, he's in charge of it. It's his movie to make, but he's like,
no, Ken, it's been 20 years.
Put someone else in charge of it. Yeah. So, what do you want to talk first, guys?
I don't know.
We want to talk.
Throw something out.
Well,
throw it out.
Okay, let me do this because I want to give a shout out to this book.
Hey.
This is my other one of my 3 indie books this week. Little Guardians #1 by Scoot Comics.
Aww.
And you know why I picked this up?
Huh?
Did you think it was
$1.99? $1.99.
Oh.
Hey, Alternative Comics has a run for their money.
Yeah, you give me a nice affordable comic, I'm going to give you a try. And I am not disappointed. This is by Ed Cho, Lee Chirolis, and Ginger D. Ginger D. I don't know what Ginger D did. I don't know what any of these people did, actually. Oh, here we go. Ginger D is the colorist. Lee Chirolis is our artist. Ed Cho is our writer.
Hey, credits.
Wayne Hall is our editor. And Richard Rivera handled production. And we see you got this nice art style. And this is basically seemingly taking place in one of those villages you go to ransack in D&D. Because basically it's a bunch of, there's a big zucchini festival. Our Subria, who is our little girl protagonist, she is running the shop. Well, she's working in the shop. Her dad runs the shop. Her older brother is like, smoking some sort of thing you smoke in this world behind the dumpsters with his friends as she's doing all the work. We find out that Thrum, who is the guy he recently has a bad foot issue. We're going to find out it's because he got bitten by a mysterious animal recently, and he's growing his zucchinis. He cannot let that other guy win the Great Zucchini Prize every year. But when he cuts this grand zucchini, he suddenly goes mad and starts throwing zucchinis at his wife. We meet, give your wife something. We meet the little guardian, who is, because every village has a guardian, and they have one orb to capture evil spirits and one orb that has their protector spirit. Oh, no, actually, well, they have an orb. That is what they work with. One is for the Guardian, and then one is for their child. Although I think they may say it is son, because they do get a little bit about, man, damn the patriarchy in this. Because when they leave poor Sabria in charge to run the store, when everybody goes to the festival, there's this whole thing about, well, no, you won't. It says, you've got a real talent for this. Sabria says, wow, you think I could really take over the store one day? Saying, well, no, your brother will take over the store, but you'll do something, I'm sure. We got through him with his wife at the doctor's office, and of course, the nurse is doing all the work, but the doctor is a little oblivious. And as you will imagine, here's where we get the kid working with the orb, learning about your spirit totem, yada yada, and then we get the various monsters that get unleashed. There's a little goblin that is the little guardian spirit animal. I get the feeling it's like pushed away. It says, no, that can't possibly be your spirit animal. I think the goblin is a spirit animal. That's something that's going to be revealed in later stories. It's a real big setup. We get a little panther here that is helping out Sabria. And, then everyone goes to the festival. And then this goth emo kid comes in for salve for his wounds as she's trying to upsell him. And then, it's cool, but that's the end of the episode. We get a little bit of lore in the back. This apparently I'm trying to understand the business model here, because then it says, hey, be sure to get the graphic novel of all of this. So I don't know if there's going to be a second one, and then I can just buy these, or if I have to just, here's $1.99 for the start of the graphic novel, now go buy the graphic novel. Maybe. I'm not sure how they're doing it. Then available in October is Ninja Scouts, which again might be the same deal, where they're going to give you that first taste for $1.99. You like it, go buy the graphic novel.
First one's free.
$1.99. Practically free comparatively.
Yeah.
But I really liked this book. It was neat. It was fun. It's got a childlike sense of whimsy, which I do enjoy.
Like you.
As well as being within its own realm. So I really liked that.
All right, Miss Hellfire, you're up.
Okay, I guess I'll talk about the best book that came out this week and it's not one of the big two. Oh. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin, number 4.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I will say that you might want to wait for the trade, because this is the penultimate issue. Take a drink. But there is no date for the 5th book yet, and these have been kind of slow to come out as well. I feel like it's been like every 2 to 3 months we get a new issue, to be honest.
I was going to say, didn't this start either at the beginning of this year or before that?
Yeah. And it's IDW, and it's like pretty much one of their last titles that they're gonna have, with Marvel taking away all their Disney and Star Wars all ages books and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's probably like a whole thing that they're going through.
Oh, is that what that post was about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they were in the front running to be doing all of Marvel's printing just 2 years ago, and now they're kind of taking all their rights away, so I don't know what's going on.
Chapek doesn't want to doesn't want to own 2 comic book companies. It's just more bad planning by Chapek, so.
Yeah, probably. But this is an epic story. It's kind of, it might throw you a little, it might be a little jarring for you, because it's like every section has like a different kind of art, because there's 3 artists. So we have, of course, Kevin Eastman doing the art, and then we have the 2 Escorza brothers doing the rest of the art. So they kind of take turns. So that might be a little jarring for people who haven't been reading this. But I feel like each individual issue can stand on its own. It's a whole story, but each issue has deals with a different kind of emotion, turmoil, stuff like that. So, I mean, you should probably be a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan, because these are some deep dives, some deep cuts. You might get a little lost, but I think it's a really great story. I think the art is very interesting, and it's Mikey. So if Mikey's your fave, that's who we're dealing with most of the time. So
he's the party dude.
Yeah, obviously. So it's like, let's not make him the party dude. Let's make him the sad dude.
Well, but that's the reason why, because you have to go through. You were the party dude, and now you have to you have to pay for the parties.
The party's over.
Yep. I should say that this book is $8.99. Don't know if I mentioned that. It is $8.99.
How big is it?
But it is worth it, in my opinion.
How big?
I think the issues have gone up in price each time too, except for the first one. I think the first one was like $10.
Do you know what the page?
Is there like more pages, or is it just
No.
better quality cardstock?
Yeah, it's quality cardstock for sure.
Okay. Well, you know.
And like I said, it's like with them, it's basically, you know, Mirage getting a last hurrah. So like for me, it's the nostalgia goggles driving that purchase. I'm not gonna lie, but I still think it's a fantastic story.
Well,
and it's definitely a collectible to invest in if you're into that thing.
I was gonna say, if you're just worried about the money, the trade might be the best way to go. Then
Yeah, definitely the trade, because that way you have all the stories. Because like I said, we don't know when issue 5's coming out. Another sign of money troubles. And I swear, if IDW goes under before they release issue 5, there will be hellfire to pay.
oh my.
They can always sell their unpublished books to Disney, and then they can put them out.
They're itching to get their hands on that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie money, I'm telling you.
Oh,
They're like Jim Henson, you know, it's like, ooh, we're so close.
Oh my god! Then we're finally gonna get they're finally officially gonna connect the Teenage TMNT
Ninja Turtles and Daredevil.
and the
I'm just
Daredevil
saying.
origin. Yep. They all get hit with the same radiation off the same truck. Yep. It's coming.
So what about you, Philip? What you got to talk about?
All right, I think we all read it. Radiant Black.
Yes.
So, what do we think? It was kind of slower, but it was still good. Like, I don't know, like some of these Radiant characters getting to know each other, but then we still had some action with battling that robot thing.
You know, honestly, my favorite thing about the whole story is that it's in Chicago. I just find that hilarious. Like, you know, we never bother with Chicago.
Is this Radiant Black?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Robot thing? Oh, the thing. Was that a robot?
Well,
I
that's what
couldn't
they
quite
call.
tell.
That's what they called it. Didn't they say a robot something earlier?
Yeah, I mean, I get the feeling that this was like supposed to be the drill sergeant training robot, but they killed it, and now they don't have it because it had very bad people skills, and it's just sort of like, you have bad people skills, training robot. You know, I don't know where you're from or what you expect us to do. It's telling us we were idiots because, you know, these things happened to fall here accidentally and now we're marked. And it's like, dude, we don't know any of that. You know, maybe you should adjust your people skills, approach us and say, okay, so you kind of found yourselves in the middle of an intergalactic war. Here's how I can help.
I think it was slow because there was a lot of backstory.
Oh,
and that part in Russia totally was like, wait, what? What? Can we get back to the action, please?
I like that.
Always Russia.
Well, because it's just a random place, and you know, I just love the guy stealing the coffees, and the people come out like, you just totally stole our coffees, dude. What's up with that? You know, it was beautiful. I liked it. I liked that aspect of it. I liked him and I guess Pink sort of like bonding there, because she's like, you have any idea how hard it is to transport all of you people around so fast and constantly? It's a lot. And he's like, no, I get it. It's a lot. It's a lot, you know. And then, of course, you know, he still wants to punch Red.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, did you see the cover for the next one? It don't look good for his buddy.
I don't know, man. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Looks like he's walking him into the light, man. That's all I'm saying.
Or he's just his buddy's back, man. Or he's in the machine now forever, and it's like, you'll never be rid of him.
Yeah, part of his mind, yeah.
He's going to be the new user AI. That's the thing. It's like, and now they'll have a user-friendly AI, and that's what they need.
Oh.
Can we get an AI that's a little user-friendly, that can talk to people?
Alpha
like
Centaur 5? What?
Yeah, it's like, you know...
That was a Power Rangers reference, Philip.
Yeah. But it's...
Get off my lawn.
It wasn't a Rick and Morty.
Not to make everything about Bob Chapek, but it's like, you know, sometimes... Sometimes
is that your new nemesis, Charlie? Should we be?
Oh, he is my nemesis. He is my nemesis. He is Roy Disney's cubed, and I'm.
Those were some big shoes to fill.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, it's like, oh, you were gonna just burn this whole place down. You do not know what you're doing. You were a great yes man, which is how you got the job, but now you have to be a leader, and you are not cut out for it. You were like, well, just cut everything and just replace that guy with this guy. It's like,
it's
that's
worse
not
than basic. He's Frank Castle incompetent, is what Charlie is trying to say.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I wasn't going to go that far, but yeah. Hey, here's what I'll say. At least Frank Castle is incompetent for the good of the universe. Like, you can't have Frank Castle kill Kingpin because even though everything you're going to say about him is going to mean he should kill Kingpin, he's going to waste his time with lower level criminals.
Mercy bullets.
He can't hit
Mercy bullets.
Although, to be fair,
and he can't hit
fair to Frank Castle,
he can't hit a target that big.
No, but Frank Castle's family was killed by lower end criminals. He doesn't want to cut off the head. He wants to cut all the parts
it's like Memento. He's just gonna. At the end of the day, he's just gonna find a new fight to fight.
He's gonna cut off the pinky. Start at the pinky toe and cut the whole body to pieces.
Well, hey, here's what I'm gonna tell you. You cut off the big toe. That guy's not walking anywhere. So
you heard it here first, kids. The Punisher makes him walk funny.
You can actually walk without your pinky toes.
No, your pinky toe.
We'll eventually evolve away from our pinky toe, so that's no big deal. Yeah, you go for the big toe.
Well,
like
they say that. I don't know how you will evolve away from a pinky toe. I just because the thing is that first kid born without a pinky toe, that kid's gonna have a bad day. So
it'll be like Phil in the future. They'll get him a falsie.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird. I don't know.
It could be the worst. You could lose the tip of a finger.
Why did your eye drift over to my box?
He's not going to hear this.
I know, especially now. He ain't going to hear this. Rob's not going to hear this.
Oh. So what's up next? If you have time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what do you want to talk? We got books. I've got my. I read half a vampire book.
Half a vampire book.
But it was the first half, and that.
Well, what did you think?
Is that the?
It's great,
Masquerade?
honestly.
Vampire the Masquerade.
Vampire the Masquerade #10. I really still love this book, and I basically got to the first story because there's always a backup Anarch's Tale book after that. So, although they're not really even separating them now, and you get this whole thing about
Did they bring out a new edition? Is that what this book is like trying to promote, or is it just for the sake of having that property like stay relevant?
I think it's mostly just.
I would love for a new edition of that game.
They're doing something with it. I don't know, but they do have this whole thing that apparently the werewolves are about to attack at the end. That's the big reveal. As if the werewolves weren't always attacking them constantly. The werewolves don't like to come into the cities. And that's the whole point of the World of Darkness, is that there's the cities and there's the wilderness. And the wilderness is where the wolves are, and the city is where the vampires are. But then the worm comes and puts pipelines through the wilderness because there's no people there. And that's when everybody gets into a fight.
Oh, Lilith, we should be checking this out. Writers Tim Seeley, Teeny Howard, and Blake Howard.
Yeah, of course. He's mentioned that several times.
I know. I keep
these
having to
are
remind
really
myself.
Great.
I picked up the first 3. I always forget. I always forget to put it on my pull list.
Yeah. Oh, it's Teeny Howard and Blake Howard get the written by. Are they a couple or are they brother and sister? I assume Teeny is the female. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't assume. But yeah, no, it's just
definitely
great.
not in comic books, because or writing in general, because of how misogynistic the industry is. Definitely can't assume.
No,
Yeah.
but I believe I've seen a picture, and yes, she is a female.
But yeah, and there's this whole big thing with the hunters and a double, triple cross, which is always fun in any story. And I'm not going to finish it because I haven't finished it yet, so I don't want to spoil anything because I haven't finished it yet. But definitely, hey, if you like Vampire the Masquerade, or if you just like twisted stories about internecine politics with blood,
Dirty blood.
This might be a good story for you.
Wait a minute, are we back to Carnage? No, I'm kidding.
Hey-oh.
They have way more.
Hey, red cover. There you go. If I told you this was a Carnage book, you wouldn't know any different.
All right, Lil, did you want to throw out any other ones?
I'll throw out, let's see. Do I have a Marvel book to throw out?
Oh, my.
Because I know you guys are probably going to talk Fantastic Four and Death of Doctor Strange.
And
I guess, did you read Moon Knight #3? I mean,
I did.
Get ready to listen to this.
Yes, I did.
Yes. Wow.
I got the variant cover, so
Oh, really?
it was nice. Yeah, the very nice variant cover. So just throw that out there.
Hunter's
I'm
Moon.
liking this more than I want to admit.
More than you want Ray to hear.
Exactly.
It's a good book. It's probably getting on my
Check the
pull list
case
next
doing
month.
his thing.
Whoa, that's pretty damn big.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I liked about this is his confrontation with Hunter Moon, and his basics, because it was interesting where they do this thing where Hunter's Moon is like, don't you have all the knowledge of all the Moon Knights who have come before you? Aren't you tied into this thing? It's like, no.
He just wrecked my mind. No, Contra just wrecked my mind.
Kicked me in the head and brought me back to life. That's all I got.
Exactly.
And then he makes this point. All you have is the borrowed skills of better fighters.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is your classic.
Mr. Khonshu. I know Connor must be like.
Well, it's your
happier
classic.
for that.
It is without a doubt your classic. I came up from the mean streets, and so I can beat
I'm
anybody.
your foil. Take it. See.
Yeah,
I wasn't a nice man for a lot of years.
Although what's funny is that it's actually kind of like two different ways you can look at it, because on one level, the Hunter's Moon is like he didn't study for it. He didn't earn it. And that's really what it is. He didn't earn it. He just has this knowledge as a database that he can pull on to be the perfect warrior.
You need the muscle memory.
Well, you need to have been punched to know how to avoid the punch. It's like they say, why Wolverine, was actually not a good fighter because he just would take all the damage and then just keep on punching you.
The fights are brutal, which is like my favorite thing. So I'm just like, somebody's been watching John Wick, and I'm okay with that.
Oh my!
Yeah.
No, those fight scenes very much remind me of some John Wick action scenes.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like next issue we're getting Tigra.
Oh, Tigra! Oh, I love Tigra.
Yeah.
Oh, because they were friends in the West Coast Avengers, so that makes sense.
Yeah, friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more of a bronze Tiger level there.
One other thing I want to call out in this, which I thought was a really good point about this, and that actually gives you this idea that Mark Spector is not as crazy as everyone thinks, is why he spared the vampires. And why... Because he said, no, you're travelers in the night too.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to judge you just because you're vampires. I'm not going to attack you.
Well, he has no room to judge anybody, first of all.
Well, yeah. And he knows that, Yeah,
he's like,
again...
He's like, this was done to you, yeah.
Speaking of democratization of superpowers, because you got to bring it all in, he's like, I'm not here to protect whatever social order was once there. I'm here to protect the travelers at night.
Yeah.
And if you're being a respectful traveler at night, I got no beef with you. The people who made you, I had a beef with them. And them I killed. You're fine. Because you're trying to be as useful of a vampire
as long as we don't go back to that weird werewolf stage, I'm good. Like, if this is where this is going, me and Jet McKay are going to fight. And I think me and Ray might be on the plane to the same place.
What, Werewolf by Night?
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well,
that's where it all started.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, Werewolf by Night started in Moon Knight, right?
No, Moon Knight started in Werewolf by Night. No, they just...
Oh.
They
just trying to bring it back full circle. I'm like, don't you do it!
They kind of just dropped him in as a villain, and then I think they wanted to, I don't know, Doug Mensch or whoever was like, hey, I want to make this guy a hero, so they kind of retconned...
He's like, I just got done writing Batman, why not?
Yeah, they kind of just retconned it where they were like, oh yeah, Moon Knight was just undercover, trying to bust this evil committee. But,
Good old Matches Malone, I mean.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. How can you... What would that man have to do with Moon Knight? They're completely different characters.
Oh!
Well, look who's sucking up to our only Patreon subscriber.
I love Batman.
I know where the money is.
Yeah, shake it for that $3, Charlie Esser.
No.
Do you want to be pandered to? Be sure to sign up for Capes After Dark.
For as little as $1, Charlie Esser will kiss your butt too. But thank you, Ray, for subscribing.
Yes,
No, I find it very interesting. I do think that the stories aren't like very cohesive yet, so I'm wondering if it's gonna like dovetail into something more.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that I am a little apprehensive about is that the stories seem so separate.
But again,
that, like most people like like with people writing for the trades because modern comics.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's gonna turn away some readers. It's fine for me. The pacing is great on all 3 issues.
I mean, I trust Jed McKay. I mean, look, we love his work on Black Cat, so.
Yeah. Hopefully she'll make an appearance because he wants to.
Oh yeah, crossover them books. Yeah,
she actually kind of makes sense.
Cross them books over, man. Do an event.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I picked up the first issue and I picked up this issue, but I will say this, that quite frankly, I could have just picked up this issue and I think I would have not been lost in any way.
I think that's what he's going for because, Moon Knight still is kind of a niche. Sorry, Ray.
Yeah, well, they gotta make him accessible because he's gonna get his own show.
Exactly.
With, what's his name? One of those Star Wars guys.
Oh, Oscar Isaac,
Yeah, that was the handsome one, not the emo one, right?
It was just a really nice package.
Some people find Adam Driver handsome. I'm not one of them, but some people
No. I mean, I was not saying he's not handsome. I was saying the first image.
The more traditionally, yes.
He's the emo one. He was emotional. My point is this character was very emotional.
Angsty, if you will.
That's where the term emo comes from, you see, is emotion. He was not afraid to show his emotions.
A little too much, but...
Whereas Oscar Isaac, he was, your typical suave, debonair, have-gun, will travel kind of guy.
He got screwed into just like Finn.
Because I know Lilith likes it long.
But that's another story.
I don't know if you read this, but Charlie Esser, you might want to read X-Men number 3.
Yes.
Your friend Herbert Wyndham shows up.
Oh, good old Herbert. How's he doing?
The High Evolutionary. Oh, he's like, you mutants are evolving quite nicely. Hey, let me do you a favor. Let me drop this bomb and sterilize the human race for you.
Mind if there's no more humans?
It'll help you guys, right?
Why not Zoidberg?
So, of course, the X-Men have to stop
the
that.
problem with that is that the mutant gene is inherently related to the deviant gene because it changes its representation each time.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone who knows the old lore knows that, which is why really the mutants should be allied with the deviants. Although arguably maybe that's why people also have a problem with mutants, because they are that in the same way that humans, Eternals are the eternal human, the deviant gene is deviantly expressed through the mutants. It was all in humans from the start, that both that potential for any mutation and that perfect organization. And, that's why, but it's this eternal fight. But why does it have to be? Why can't we be like the Skrulls, who have both the eternal Skrull and the constant shape-shifting god character? I forget her name. But that's them, is they are a deviant race who said there will be an eternal Skrull and who will never change shape, and one who never has a set shape, and they shall be our twin gods, the god and the goddess of the Skrull Empire.
All right, check this off.
And then we just killed them because, imperialism.
Check this off the bingo card, kids. The High Evolutionary's problem. You get all cocky once you get that fancy armor. Just ask that college dropout Doom.
Future Lilith is gonna be so drunk.
like she wasn't gonna be anyway.
Can I just throw out a book that I think everybody should probably maybe pick up if they have some extra cash? It's Aquaman, The Becoming #1. It's a new legacy character. It's Aqualad, a different Aqualad. This character's name is Jackson Hyde. It starts off with a lot of intrigue and politics, and this is his journey to become Aquaman. He was training as Aqualad. What?
Isn't Jackson Hyde when you say he's like a new Aqualad, isn't he the Aqualad that was Aqualad? Is this the gay Aqualad that's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that. Okay, he's been Aqualad for a while now.
I mean, not really.
I knew he was Aqualad.
Yeah, Lilith. Even Charlie knew he was Aqualad.
I mean, the only place he's not Aqualad is in the Teen Titans Go, where they're still using the other Aqualad.
Which is,
Garth.
I'm just saying, for most people, they would probably.
Okay, I know that's the
character.
older Aqualad, but that's like the Aqualad who should have been Aquaman by now, quite frankly.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Like,
and this is his
You're
journey,
still a
but
lad,
like
dude.
in an alternate kind of universe thing. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I love Jackson Hyde. He's cool. He has the water powers, like Mira. Gee, how'd you get that power?
His father is
know.
Black Manta, and as DC will tell us over and over, he's so cool.
Well, I'm just saying, man. You know, Mira,
I said that years ago. Yeah.
Black Manta. I know. Well,
Mira had a baby and it wasn't. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh my! Oh my!
I know
Hey,
she is a
it's-
separate race, and
Oh my,
yeah,
Manta.
it's the whole thing.
It's like my whole,
Whoa.
Lofty and Freya
It's a drop.
Frigga thing. You know.
Well, it's like
like-
my thing. Deathstroke is Damien's dad. Well, we get sick of Damien being in the Bat family. They're gonna be like, well, actually,
And
Slade
Uncle
was right.
And Uncle Ben is Mephisto. We know. Yes, there he is.
There he is.
I don't like
love
that they have
Jackson.
to like fragrantly put the pride thing on there, but I mean, I guess it's a selling point. It's kind of rude, but
Yeah, it's
communism. Not communism. Late stage capitalism.
Yeah,
Wow, what a
but they're
Freudian slip.
putting him in the orange jersey, so that's
Yeah.
nice. So he's being accepted as the new Aqualad.
Well,
Home team.
not just yet. Not so fast. He's on trial for blowing up the training facility. Like, it's a whole thing. Like I said, it's politics, intrigue. This is like where we start, and like I guess the whole purpose of the series is to watch him become Aquaman through all these adversities. So
Cool.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Then what happens to Arthur Curry? Is he?
well,
He's
I
retired.
know that's not. He's neither here nor there. He's a non-factor.
Is he going into the Parallax Ring now? And
No, he's going to be in a mini series of his own with Oliver Queen soon here.
Yeah, like this. Like I said, it's set in a future kind of thing. And they
oh,
don't
this
really
is
care
that
about
future
it.
state. Yeah,
Fear State.
they're leaning
Future
into the
State.
sci-fi angle. We'll just make everything in the future, then we can do whatever we want.
No, we're making everything.
Basically,
We're making everything.
It's 2099.
We're making
except the entire line.
We're making everything state. Future State. The Fear State's going through all the Batman books right now. Jeez.
There you go.
State of confusion.
Uh,
Infinite Crisis, indeed.
Because maybe it'll sell.
Oh,
Is there one more book you want to talk about, Philip?
I'll shout it out just real quick because it's Al Ewing. The final issue of Guardians of the Galaxy, number 18.
Oh, I did not get to
Oh,
read
no, he
that
made
yet.
to 18. Interesting.
Yeah, so that's the last one. I'd say for at
It's a
least
year and a half.
yeah, I'd say at least for the rest of the year because I don't think there's no Guardians of the Galaxy solicited for the rest of the year. So
And there's no Guardians of the Galaxy movie coming up just yet either. So why publish it?
So don't expect any more until
Yeah, well, you don't want to contradict anyway.
yeah, and don't expect any more till at least 2022, kids. So, but no, I mean it's good. I mean I don't know if they plan to end it here because it just seemed like they wrapped things up pretty quick. But yeah, again,
Don't tell me he's on Substack too.
no, because I think what's he going to? Is Al doing? I think isn't Al going to Venom?
Oh, is he?
I think I remember he's going to something. Cause I thought him and what's
Well,
his
it's not
face.
on Hulk anymore.
I thought him and what's his face were switching. The last writer of Venom. Yeah, Al Ewing's going to Venom.
Okay, fun. I'll definitely be picking up more Venom then.
Yes, with Toys the symbiote.
He made me care about the Hulk again, so I guess he'll make me care about Venom again.
Maybe.
Damn you! Damn you to hell!
Almost like they had a plan this way. Yeah. All right.
Sony was like, I'll give you some.
Whoa!
if you make Venom interesting again.
Give us some ideas for 3, kid. Oh no, we're gonna do Dylan Brock in 3.
No! Shut your filthy mouth!
Dylan
Shut your filthy mouth!
Dylan Brock becomes Toxin.
Why do I feel like that's what's gonna happen?
I'll expect my shekel in the mail, please, Sony.
Okay, on that note, we should probably wrap it up. Where?
I don't know. Maybe I have to take a bathroom break. Leave it alone. All right, kids. So yes, next week will be our Venom. Speaking of Carnage, our Venom 2 Let There Be Carnage review. So we'll be doing that Sunday night. So if you see it before then, send your thoughts. Send your thoughts on the comics. And I think we're going to do a quick review of the Amazing Spider-Man 74 too, where Nick Spencer wraps up his run. So send your thoughts on that too after you spend.
And don't forget to listen to Ultimate Spider-Cast. I'm sure we'll have a more in-depth review as well.
Yes. Yeah, well, yes. In Ultimate Spider-Cast, now, the next day after all these Capes and Lunatics episodes. All right, kids. So, yes, send your thoughts on everything. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can follow Capes and Lunatics all over social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on the Instagrams. You can find links to all the various social medias for all the shows. If you want to know which shows on which feed now, yes, check out social medias. Go subscribe to this YouTube channel. Smash that subscribe button. And yes, everything's in the show notes for this and the podcast. Yes, Lo. Fine. So yes, find link to the YouTube. Find links to the Patreon. Once again, more important than ever. Now that the kids are out on our own.
We're not too good to pander.
We need beer money, kids. So yeah. So now that we're at Alpha College,
we need bandwidth money. What are you talking about?
It's a metaphor, Love Hellfire. We're off at college. We need keg money. All right. So yes. So find links to the Patreon, and please, or if you want to pick up some merch, find links to that. Everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capes and lunatics. All right, Little Hellfire, where can people talk symbiotes with you?
We don't have a button for this yet? Okay. If you
record the whole thing and I'll hit the button.
You can find me on Twitter at Little Hellfire, on Instagram at Little Hellfire69, and of course on TikTok making amazing comments and only Star Trek related content at Little Hellfire69. Duh.
I'm 12 when you need me to be 12.
You know what I have buttons for.
It's so salty.
Charlie Esther.
Well, if you'd like to write to me in an old-fashioned email way, the way our mothers and fathers once did, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. The superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And of course, follow me on the Twitters. I live tweet things like Stargirl when I remember, and it's coming in on Channel 11 now over the broadcast, at Charlie Essa. That's CHARLIE. ESSER. Look for the two E's in the middle.
For quality.
Bing! Good old Channel 11 picks coming in the clutch.
Yay.
Finally got it. I just have to get the antenna stuck to the roofs, and then we're good.
Everybody gets one. You know, it's like Oprah's giving away Iron Fists.
Whoa!
That's a deep
nice
dive,
new
man.
Mosh drop. I like that one.
That's an old one, too.
That is an old one, man. That was back in the old days.
That's when they were fisting.
Oh, what is the sound of one fish punching?
All right, kids. So yes, next week, Venom 2 review. Come back for it. But until then, we have been your Capes.
Ampersand.
Lunatics!
See, Little Hellfire, you're too unpredictable. I can't, pre-record your drops. But him, man, he's like a record, man. He does the same thing every time.
He gives it a little variation, though. He's spicy.
I know. The timing and the tempo, I know.
Well, yeah. I have a spiel, but how the spiel goes is different.
What they tune in
It's variation. It's variations of the theme.
He did variate that rhythm.
Yeah, to give the data, people need the information.
The rhythm method.
So that they appreciate it each time.
Did that eat
your brain? Good night, everybody.
Did that eat your brain?
Hi, I'm one of the High Priests of Khonshu Ray, and I have the sacred privilege of providing you, the loony listener, with a podcast honouring Marvel's very own Moon Knight. So join me and a host of others at Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, or support the show by becoming a Patreon member. Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast. It's time to get your Khonshu on.